Welcome to the Carolina Beat. My name is Christina Dees, and I'm here with Juliana Norris Monroe from Lotus Wellness Center of Jacksonville. Juliana is here today to help you achieve those health and weight loss New Year's resolutions with anti-inflammatory nutrition. Juliana, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Well, why don't we start with this term, anti-inflammatory nutrition?
Right. So it is completely likely that food has the potential to trigger a heightened immune response. And inflammation is just one of the processes that the immune system would use to help protect and heal the body. So when we're talking anti-inflammatory, we're saying let's eliminate, or at the very least start to greatly reduce, the foods that we know trigger this inflammatory reaction. And there is a list, by the way, the FDA has the 8 most allergenic foods, and half of them form the base of our nutrition pyramid. So let's reduce and eliminate the inflammatory foods, and let's bring in more foods that are known to reduce inflammation, that are known to really nourish the cells, and that are rich in micronutrient content and other substances that help heal.
So are there foods that could be difficult to digest?
Absolutely. Where protein digestion is concerned, actually that's probably one of the key factors in the inflammatory reaction. Wheat and other grains, not just wheat, but other grains, dairy, anything made from cow's milk, soy proteins. These are just known to, the structure and the bonds of these foods protein-wise are very, very strong and very difficult for mammals to digest in general. So definitely removing foods that are, containing dairy and containing wheat and not just gluten, but really grains is going to be kind of key over here.
And so how does this end up sabotaging our best efforts? We all want to eat well and we try really hard. Right. How does this end up sabotaging us in the long run?
So there was a book that came out a few years ago called Your Hidden Food Allergies Are Making You Fat. And it's this perception and really an illusion that what makes up the bulk of excess mass in a person who is not of optimal weight is fat. And really what we're finding out is that it's actually water, it's fluid, it's inflammation. So if we're not aware of the foods that trigger, specifically in the individual, that excess inflammation, we can't exercise our way out of this. We've got to go to the diet and we've got to remove the foods that are triggering this excess hypervigilant response in order to get the body to do what it needs to do. And coming into optimal weight is just one of them. The excess weight is a symptom, not the problem in and of itself, as we keep thinking that it is.
You mentioned reducing and then eliminating, which I think is a great suggestion. Can you give us any tips on how to best do that? Right.
So cutting them out completely, going cold turkey, not a good idea with especially the foods with the inflammatory proteins. These partial digests or improperly broken down forms of the proteins can actually sit in the opiate receptor sites of the brain. So they're very, very addictive. So I'm a big fan of replacing. Lots of stuff on the market now with no grain whatsoever. Cutting out dairy and replacing it with almond or coconut or cashew milk versions.
And those are really great suggestions, but where I get caught up is cooking and recipes.
Right. The Sat Fat Rocks protocol actually gives you recipes made without grains, without soy, without dairy, greatly reduced in sugar. So easy carb replacement there, because that's another one of our most addictive foods that we take part in way too much.
Well, if you give me recipes, I can cook all day long.
Fantastic.
All right, well, what's the fastest way to get to where we want to be?
So the two biggest culprits are going to be wheat and dairy. If we can, even for a couple of weeks, eliminate wheat and dairy, we're going to start feeling so much better. We're going to see a reduction in the belly bloat. We're going to see a change on the scale as well. But those two foods we seem to consume the most of, and they really do trigger a lot of this water weight and a lot of the belly distension.
Okay, and if we can get rid of that, we start to feel better all around.
Absolutely.